Hello and welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a business model that, well, you've almost certainly heard of, but you might not be totally clear on how it all works. We're going to break down network marketing.
So that term, network marketing, it probably rings a bell, right? Maybe a friend even hit you up about it, or you've seen those posts floating around online. It's just one of those terms that's kind of everywhere now, especially when people are talking about different ways to make money.
And hey, part of what makes it a little confusing is that it's got a bunch of different names. You've probably heard it called multi-level marketing, or MLM, right? Or maybe direct selling. Well, for our purposes today, just know that all these terms, they're really pointing to the same core idea.
All right, so let's get right into it. What exactly is this business model when you strip everything else away? Let's get a nice, clear definition on the board. Okay, so at its very heart, it's all about people power. See, instead of a company selling its stuff through traditional stores, it relies on this huge network of individuals. These people are basically independent sellers, and their job is to get the products or services directly into the hands of customers. But how do people get paid? This is where it gets really different from a normal job. First off, there's no fixed salary. Nope. Your income is all based on commission. So you earn money from what you sell personally. And here's the crucial part. You also get a commission on the sales made by the people you recruit into your network. That's what you'll often hear called a downline.
And this is the real engine that makes the whole thing grow. Think about it. A customer who loves a product can decide, hey, I want to sell this too, and become a distributor themselves. Then they start selling to their own circle, family, friends, and boom, the cycle just keeps repeating and the network expands outward.
Okay, to really get why this model is such a different approach, let's first take a quick look at the old school way products usually get to us, the traditional journey.
Just picture almost anything you buy in a regular store. It starts its life at a factory with the manufacturer, then it goes to a big national distributor, then to a regional wholesaler, then to the actual retail store. And only after all that does it finally land in your hands. Wow, that is a long chain with a lot of stops along the way.
And you know what? Every single one of those stops, every link in that chain adds cost. The distributor, the wholesaler, the retailer, they all need to make a profit. And where does that money come from? It's all baked right into the final price you pay at the checkout counter.
Okay, so that's the old way. Now let's compare that to the alternative path that network marketing takes.
I mean, just look at how different this is. The product goes from the manufacturer straight to the distributor. And that distributor is often a customer too. That person then gets it right to the end consumer. It's just so much shorter, so much more direct.
So you're probably asking, what happened to all that money that used to go to those middlemen? Well, in this model, it's just redirected. Instead of paying for a complex supply chain and expensive advertising, the company pays commissions directly to its network of sellers.
This whole idea isn't exactly new. The modern version of this model really got its start globally way back in the 1970s. It then made its way to India around 1995. And as we're about to see, the year 2025 is looking like it's going to be a huge year for the industry's future.
So just how big is this industry? The actual scale of it might just surprise you. This is not some small niche market. We are talking about a massive global workforce. Get this. According to a report by the World Federation of Direct Selling Associations, something like 120 million people are involved in this industry worldwide. 120 million! That is a staggering number of independent sellers driving this model forward.
And if we break that down and look at who these people are, the data shows a really striking trend. This entire industry, it's overwhelmingly powered by women. We're talking nearly 3/4 of all participants worldwide.
All right, let's zoom in a bit and focus on India, because according to some key industry reports, the future here looks particularly strong.
So what does that strong future actually look like in numbers? Well, the FICCI report projects that by 2025, the direct selling industry in India is going to be worth over 64,000 crore rupees.
I mean, that is just a huge number. What it really tells us is that there's a massive amount of confidence in this model's growth right here in the Indian market. It's really shaping up to be a major area of economic activity.
Okay, so that's the money. But what about the people? The same report projects that by 2025, an incredible 18 million people in India will be involved in direct selling. That's 1 crore and 80 lakh individuals.
You know, all this optimism is really summed up perfectly by a line from the source material itself, which states simply and clearly, "The future in India is very good."
So we'll leave you with this one last thought to chew on. As the way we all shop keeps changing, we're seeing this really fundamental shift, away from physical locations and toward personal networks. The question isn't just about this one business model anymore. It's about the future of how we buy and sell everything. Could the power of a human network truly one day replace the traditional storefront? Something to think about. Thanks for joining The Explainer.